Okay, now I've changed my camera setup here a little bit, and we'll see how this goes. Just a little higher, a little larger field of view. I'm going to work on these capacitors, which I'm hopeful have standard sizes. I'm going to give up on the front end right now because I literally don't know what to do about all this weird. Well, they're not weird. They're just sizes I don't have in stock. I have not encountered that many such capacitors, so these are all fairly easy ones to do. Let's see where we're at here. Now, this is the output tube here. So here's the, this is that large, how come you can't see my finger? You know what, I don't have to be so confused because I can turn this camera around now. So you're seeing it the same way I'm seeing it. Hey, how about that? That's a lot better. Your field of view is just about half the radio here. That's good. I like that. That's a little better. Now when I look over at the computer screen at the camera image, that actually matches what I'm seeing with my eyeballs. Good for me. Okay. So I think we were just zeroing in on this one right here, which is that body end dot orange, white, and I don't know what that band in the middle is there. Orange, white, something. Orange. Oh my god, what's orange? Orange is some weird number like 9. Orange. No, orange is 3. What am I saying? 3. So that's coming down off of what I think is pin number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pin 8. I think that's pin 8. Pin 8 on the output tube. Well, they're not numbered. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for not numbering them. But it should be that one right there. That would be there. 390. That's a 390. That's the cathode resistor. And then off of that we see a small 0.005. That's this guy here. Yeah. And looking right up in here. So that's that guy. No. That guy right there, 0.05, and then they got this 20 microfarad, a fairly large capacitor. It's called C33. But the way I see it, the wire runs back to the large capacitor here, which is just out of your view. But this wire here. So although it says C33, well, I guess that's okay, because down here's the filter where the big capacitor is, 2 sections, 10 millifarad, 10 millifarad, C47, C48. They've numbered them differently. And this is C33 is also part of that, I'm pretty sure. 20. So the 20 millifarad may or may not need replacement. But I'll go after this 0.05. Look at how much time you just spent talking about this stuff without even doing it. That's the bad guy there. And we'll check that resistor underneath there too, make sure he's 470. That's a pretty old style resistor. As if the other things in here are new, eh? Okay. Gently now. Another one trying to make an escape. Let's see what it says right on it. It says 0.005. I think that's 0.005. And that's what it's supposed to be, isn't it? Mr. Short-term memory, I have to look again. Yeah, 0.005. 0.005. There's a 0.005. See that? I looked away and I've come back and it's just a massive, who knows what's where. There they are there. I'm going to pull that cover off. See how long the leads are on this one compared to that last capacitor, which is much, about half the lead length. And you know what? I'm not going to waste this big one here. I'm going to put in one of those shorter lead ones. And this isn't an exact 0.05, this is a 0.047. Can't imagine that's going to make that much difference. In the circuit. We are in the audio part of the radio now, where it's not really a problem with maintaining resonance or anything like that. Kind of crazy leaving that wire there, eh? What do you think? Think I'm crazy doing that? We can shorten this up a little more. Let's make this a little shorter. Just get rid of that. Your field of view isn't starting till here, for crying out loud. That's a little better. Things have really changed for me since I stopped using my tablet for shooting videos. I'm not as conscious of where the camera, what area the camera is covering. I was much more conscious before. And so I'm making some video errors here. I think I'll get better as I go. This one I can cut most of this off here. I can solder right onto that actually. Let's see if we can remove that wire entirely. Looks easy. I don't like using my soldering iron as a tool, but sometimes sometimes you shouldn't do that. Yeah. Smell. Let's see if I can't cut the wire there. There, I can even... There we go. There's a cold solder jointed enough there from me wiggling it while I was soldering that. I'm actually able to... I'm going to nip that edge right off. And I should be able to extract this. Yeah, I went flying. Yeah. Hey, people buy lottery tickets all the time. Why can't I let the odd wire go flying? Just let luck decide on what happens to it. Why not? There we go. Got rid of that whole lead. Let's not lose sight of what we're doing now. The part I don't like about doing this is it's essentially a shot in the dark. I mean, I'm not testing these capacitors. I don't know that they're defective. This is my own personal radio now, so I can do what I want with it, including waste all kinds of time on it if I want. And I know the argument would be, well, come on, these capacitors are going to go sooner or later. I might as well change them all now, and then you got 20 years of great radio operation. I'm not even sure I got 20 years of great life left. Whew, I shouldn't say things like that. The fact is, you never know. You never know what's around the bend. My own experience in life has taught me that you never know what's going to happen 3 years down the road. I think I know where I'll be 3 years from now, but often the situation is so wildly different from what I had imagined. And that's one of the exciting things about life, if you want to look at it that way. I just pinch that little tail there. Boy, for my favorite plier, I sure do struggle with it a lot, don't I? Okay. That's another one done. Let's mark it on there. That's this guy right here. And while we're up here, let's spot this resistor, 470K. That looks like a 470K right there. 470K to ground. It's the plate. You call that the plate resistor? No. This is the plate resistor. This is the one. There's a couple of them. A couple 470s. One going to ground. That's this one. I see I'm affecting the brightness situation on my lens too, on my camera too, so I better. There's another 470 over there. So the 470 we're worried about here, well, that's probably it. Wow. Gets onto this long line here. Better follow it back this way. Hey, there's another .01. Let's see if we can spot that on the way. There's a .005. We can get at these. If we can find R15, which is connected directly to the plate of the 6SQ7. And this is the 6SQ7. Okay, by deduction. We don't even have to do deduction. 6SQ7. The plate is pin number 876, pin number 6. So we find pin number 6, 876, there's 6. It's got 1, 2, 3 capacitors connected to it. 1, 2, 3, yeah, that's it, alright. And all these guys are, at least not this one, 120, I don't know about that one, but a .05 and a .01, they can't stand up to me. I can take them. And then if we find this .01, we'll find this, yeah, if we find the .01 on either side of these two 470K, so, okay, let's make sure we find the .01. So it's one of these three. It's not going to ground, it's going to, well, it's right side of these resistors, duh. So there they are, there it is, this guy. This guy right here. Let me get a little better lighting. Get my camera right. So this guy, this ugly one too. There's a 470, there's a 470, he's right between them. That's him. That would be him or her. 0.01. 0.01. Let's get him out of there and see if it's a 0.01. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think we're going to read much off of this one. 0.01. .01. Okay. Put that guy in there. Another short lead, teeny tiny capacitor. I'm going to be changing all three of these off this pin, so it's going to look pretty messy in there when I'm done. And I think I'll use this technique here. A little bit of solder. I guess if you've been watching my videos, you know that in my case anyway, I have to think things through a lot at times. I spend a lot of time staring and talking and thinking, trying to sort out what I'm seeing. Between the circuit diagram, the radio, or whatever else it is that I'm trying to figure out. Wow, it's just barely going to make it there. I wasn't careful enough on... Yeah, see, these short leads present a problem, don't they? Let's put a little bit of cover on there too. Just a little piece. Just a little piece. Paper is affecting the light there, isn't it? A little bit of microsurgery coming here because I don't have enough wire to make this easy. Got my hand right in the way too. You know what? I could move this. Yeah, let's mess the whole thing up. I'll move this over here. My camera jury rig system. And I'm working right in here. Okay, let's. Still learning how to work this camera. Get the angles right. And I'm working right in here. Okay, I think that's good enough. I hope it's good enough. Hopefully my hand won't be in front of what I'm doing. You know, I've asked myself a couple of times now, how much time are these videos adding to my work here? And I would say it's adding somewhere between 20 and 30%. And not so much in here, in the shop while I'm working. It's afterwards when I have to copy files and sort things out, and it's not as easy as shoot a video, upload it, and publish it. It's not quite that easy, as I have discovered. I got into all this kind of by accident. You know, I really had no idea that I'd be doing YouTube videos like this. Hey, there's not. What was I saying? Every 3 years, you have no idea where your life is taking you. Maybe it's every 3 months. But, when I started doing this video stuff, my idea was, well, I was stupidly thought I was the only guy in the world doing this. And I was on the Google Live system, and my idea was I'll do this live. People can watch me work live. Well, that didn't work out at all, for a number of reasons. The main one being the video quality was absolutely terrible. If you look at some of my earlier videos, my very first videos, you can see the... well, what I found out by doing the live ones on this using Google Plus, that when I was done, they automatically posted them to YouTube. And that's the part that got me interested in what's happening in YouTube. So, I'm here by accident, trying to make the best of it. So that's another one done. That's another one done. And what have I got now? I see. And over here, I forgot to mark the one back there. That was this one. Now let's check these two resistors, which apparently go high. One of them, anyway, is known, according to what I read, for going high. So what are they supposed to be? They're supposed to be 470. Okay. Here, we can watch too. You can watch the excitement here. There we go. Read across the resistor here. Let me see, what do we see? Let me get on there. Should be 470 or less, so that's actually up. 585. And what about this one? Bah, 573, 585 and 573. What, am I crazy about these? That's 470. For sure. Well, maybe it's true. Well, these resistors are bad. 470, 580, what's the difference? Who cares? 470, 580. Well, we are having trouble with the AVC. It looks like we're having trouble, and it's probably related to a capacitor, but maybe it's this resistor, which is sort of right in the plate of the detector. It's not the AVC. That's just the high voltage bus there, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know, 470, 580. Let's see, this is paralleled a little bit. Maybe the situation's even worse. If I took this resistor out, it might be much higher than 470. Yeah, that's possible. Okay, that's enough reason to change it. Let me get a 470K resistor. $470K resistor. $470K, yellow, violet, yellow, that's it for sure. This is a very popular value of a resistor, by the way. That's my resistor filing system, my current one. I'm going to take two of these out and change the two of them that are in there. So it's yellow, violet, yellow. yellow, violet, yellow. There we are. And just for fun and excitement, let's check the resistance on these. For 88, for 89. Makes me wonder how accurate my ohm meter is. Okay, so we're going to do this resistor and do this resistor here. I'm going to end up going around this wire here. I won't lose track of what I'm doing on account of it. I know I just replaced this capacitor here, so I'll leave this one longer. Hey, let's test this resistor too. There's a piece of wire in there. Where's that from? I'm not sure where that came from. Right, I'm trying to get the resistor out of there. There we are. And let's measure this one, just for interest's sake. For educational reasons. That reads the same as it did when it was in the circuit, 580. 580, 470. You know what? I guess you could say it's on its way out. And if I start operating this set, that might speed up its demise. So, you know, from an expense point of view, resistors cost nothing. Except for the time involved. Okay, solder that one in there. Another curious thing about doing these videos is, well, I can't have the radio playing now while I do this work. I used to have the radio playing, listening to our national radio broadcaster, CBC, which I really enjoy listening to. But I can't do that while I'm doing these videos. So the result of that is I actually concentrate better on the work than I used to. I used to be half listening to the radio. Not music either, it's all news and interest type programs, and in my view they do a great job. Fantastic job. Hey, you want to check out the CBC on the internet or something like that, doesn't matter where you are in the world. And a lot of their programs, of course, are recorded now, and you can just, you know, call them up on the internet and listen to them. Lots of excellent stuff. I encourage my American friends to take a listen now and then to the news on the CBC. Yes, most of it is about Canada, as you would imagine, but there's international news. And a lot of, surprise, a lot of international news in Canada is about the United States. You might be interested in hearing the Canadian view on American news. Although, I'll make some enemies if I say this, I think the quality of journalism is a little higher in Canada these days, because it's not that Canada's gone up in quality of journalism, it's that, I'm going to get in trouble. American journalism has gone downhill something terrible in the last, hey, where'd that resistor go? It was there a moment ago. And now it's made a run for it, and this one has successfully escaped. Oh, I see him hiding. I see him hiding. He's hiding way back in here. Holy smokes. A very good attempt. There he is. He'll probably read the same. Just like the last one. It's really strange, isn't it? The two resistors both are out about the same amount. That's a fair bit out. Where'd I get that one from? One side's there, one side's there. Once again, my technique saves me from myself, because I'd have to, if I cut away these components clean, so there's really no evidence of where they came from, I'd have to immediately, without moving my eyes off it, put a flag or something on the posts involved, because I know what'll happen. I'll look away, and when I look back, I'll start working on the other side of the radio. Even with these various, geriatric aids I'm using now, I still manage to make mistakes. Like, if you've been watching my videos, you've seen a few of them. Okay, that's going to work. Put a little solder on it here. There we go. Now see, my camera seems to be working just perfect. I don't see any glitches. I haven't noticed any glitches or anything going on. But I'm willing to bet, if I turn on my browser, which should not apply much, I don't think it should apply too much load to the computer, more load, I think the computer will hang up after just a couple minutes. And it's beyond me to understand why. Look at this shielded wire in here, eh? Now that's interesting. That shielded wire is heading for the connector that connects to the push button set. And I believe it's taking up the audio portion of the signal. I can see it's related to the volume control here. So there is actually an audio level. I'm going to solder that just the way it is. It's there's an audio level signal getting up into that part, and then of course it isn't surprising because there's an RCA phono plug up there too, for you to plug in your record player or television. I don't know how many people had televisions at this time. This radio is from 1948. A little hard to see for me in there. Let's take a look. I don't think that's very good. Yeah, it's not very good. But while it's tacked like that, I can kind of manipulate it a little bit better, I think. It's really... I like to have some kind of mechanical grip along with the solder. And I'm happy with not much. But I do want some. There we go. That's a little better. Hey, that's another one. No, it's 2 resistors. 2 resistors. Gotta clean that connection up there. Mark it on my schematic. Let's get rid of some of this excess wire here. It's not likely to cause trouble where it is, it's just unnecessary. There we go! Oh, did I mark the capacitor? I did too. What did we just do? We did the one between the resistors. That's this one. That's done. Let's go after this one here. This is a 0.005 going to the tone control. Okay, so the tone control, I believe, is this one. Oh my gosh, how does that work out? 0.005 off one end of the tone control, coming back. There it is. Okay, so this green wire goes to the tone control, connects to this capacitor. So this capacitor is connected to the tone control, and the other side is connected to the 0.1 capacitors right there. So that's the one we're after. Let us extract him. Kind of weird what happened there, eh? This one we can read, I think. 0.05. Is that what that is? Looks like 0.005. And guess what? When we look upon the diagram, 0.005. So we'll get a 0.005. There it is again. I've stepped away and come back, and for the life of me, thank God I had those things there. I would never have remembered where this had come from. I suppose when you're in the restoration process and you've removed quite a bit of stuff from the radio, getting it all back in there correctly is more than a little challenging. So though I don't normally do restorations, in fact I've never done a full restoration or really tried to renew a radio in all respects, never done that. Looks like a scary deal to me, so my hat's off to those guys who do that kind of work and can take an old beater and turn it into something that's really in great shape. And I more or less may be doing that with this radio, because again, it's my radio. I can work on it for the rest of my life. While I'm doing other things, of course. I don't think I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing this. But you know, I can work on the cabinet. I can do lots of stuff to this one. And I might, you know, if I get this working electronically really well, and the word on the street is these radios work really well. They do work well. It's a strange street I live on, by the way. People talk about funny things, so that's why the word on the street here is something to do with radios. So it may be worth all that work. There we go, another one done. I already marked it. Now this is the last one. So by process of elimination, it must be this one, oh my god, 120. So that's a 0.0012. I don't have a 0.00. I got a 0.0015. 0.0012. What's it doing? It's ground. It's grounding out a signal. So if that really is a 0.0012, 0.0015 will work just fine. 120. I'm just going to check that.